Let me try to describe this to you as simply as possible. The United States military is sprawling out in all these different directions, and it really can't pay for the wars that it's getting itself involved in. What is China going to fund the U.S. war against China? So while you're seeing an increase in U.S. drills in South Korea in preparation for potentially a premeditative strike on North Korea by 2020, bringing other countries into a conflict that we can see with the United States on one side and China aligned with North Korea. This is what's on the table. We also see an increase in U.S. presence along with NATO on Russia's doorstep. This has not changed. This is not done an about face under the Donald Trump administration. The whole bromance has been smoke and mirrors. This conflict with Russia has been planned for a long, long time. They may be actually friends behind the scenes. This is really about mutual assured destruction. I'm not sure why a lot of human beings are having a difficult time understanding that Russia and the U.S. and China are going to bring down the world's population through a war while the leaders wine and dine. World War III shock report warns of Chinese Navy buildup by 2020. And they are reported to have over 351 naval vessels. It's believed they are going to have that many by that point in time, along with 100 nuclear weapons in the hands of North Korea by that point in time. Trump says if China is not going to solve North Korea, we will. This is from the Business Insider. The U.S. is prepared to respond to North Korean nuclear threats on its own if China fails to pressure Pyongyang. That is according to a recent Donald Trump interview. He is going to meet China recently at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. And so what's being reported in the theater of war, in the script, is that it is anticipated to be a tense meeting. What if in the script they're meant to have an argument and there is some sort of, and we may not see this for some time. We may not. But again, what you see in the news and what is being reported and what is coming out of these, the mouths of these misleaders is not the true, accurate depiction of what is really going on. That is not their real, accurate depiction or description of their relationship with other world leaders. Yes, they do have some sort of a relationship, and as globalists, their own agreement that certain things are going to happen, right? Certain parts of the timeline. It's already been agreed, in my opinion, that by 2018 and by 2019, we're going to be at a certain point, just like it would be agreed that by 2016, it'd be very, very clear to the whole world at some point we're going to go through World War III, regardless of who's the president. However, people were pacified, and people believe that there is some sort of a bromance between Donald Trump that is based in bringing peace to the world. There may be a bromance between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. It's not based in bringing peace to the world or the people in the countries that they are leading. Are we seeing treason on the part of multiple individuals that have held the title of president and prime minister? I think that's obvious. Here we see Russia saying that relations with the United States are now worse than the Cold War. You know, it's like you want to knock someone upside their head. McFly, Obama is not the president. Donald Trump is. According to The Hill, the relationship between the U.S. and Russia may be more antagonistic now than it was during the decades-long Cold War. And that is according to Putin's top spokesman. Is Russia ready to collapse the international banking system? This is also being asked. Some people want to see the dollar collapse. I understand why. I'm more interested, though, in the innocent people that are going to suffer under a dollar collapse. How are they going to feed themselves? How many prostitutes are we going to see walking the streets as security industries, police, military open up their arms to the children of today, adults of tomorrow? Going back to North Korea. So here we see the defense chief appointed by the president of the United States, who happens to be Donald Trump. Discussions about a strike on North Korea continue this week as the world watches on with grave concern and warranted alarm, according to the Washington Post, North Korea must be stopped on its path towards being able to threaten the United States with a nuclear attack. By the way, go back and watch the Read On remake. That's a horrible film. Initially, the Chinese were meant to be the enemy. The Chinese strong-armed Warner Brothers to literally Photoshop out CG out the any evidence or any indication that the enemy was the Chinese in the movie, and to Photoshop in the North Korean flag. And Joel Skousen on my show, Joel Skousen talks with Alex Ansary about future wars. Check it out on YouTube. He talks about North Korea and Iran being used to trigger World War III. Unfortunately, Joel Skousen is humping the Trump. This spell that's been cast is obviously fairly expansive. I do pray that Joel comes to his senses in thinking that Donald Trump is outside the establishment. They have not put together a compelling case. The Democrats, by themselves, Joe Biden, Obama, anyone, that they are controlling Trump's picks. The evidence isn't there. The allegation is there. The propaganda is there. And you have people that are a part of this chorus that are catapulting that propaganda. But there is no evidence. There is no evidence that Obama or the Democrats control the decisions made by the military-industrial complex right now. Here we go to another one. U.S. freezes North Korean assets after missile tests. Now, the U.S. government is freezing the assets of 11 agents in North Korea who are reported to be working in Russia, China, Vietnam, and Cuba. Take a look at those countries right here. These are countries allied with North Korea. Russia, China, Vietnam, Cuba. A lot of Americans haven't really thought this through, the consequences of a first strike on North Korea and how dangerous this is. North Korea has now become the new weapon of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction, WEDs. But unlike Iraq, this isn't going to be an easy just walk right in and the rest of the world doesn't do anything. This isn't going to be another Iraq. But also, like Iraq, you have Donald Rumsfeld in the picture. You have Rumsfeld arming Iraq, arming Saddam Hussein himself in that famous handshake. You also see the board that Rumsfeld sat on, ABB, when it came out in 2003. They were very instrumental in assisting North Korea's light water nuclear reactors. China has been instrumental. Russia has been of assistance in some way as well for many years to North Korea. So whatever is going to potentially kick off with North Korea and or Iran is going to very quickly become a larger global conflict that I believe in and around the years 2025 or soon thereafter could find itself, this conflict could find itself taking place right here on American soil. So this co-opting of the research community, the pro-Russia talking points, anti-U.S. but pro-foreign superstate nations, even little social movements called Occupy. Occupy this area. Occupy that area. It's always kind of stood out to me as something more than a little bit odd. So this is what is taking place. Subscribe if you're new. Support my work as they continue to demonetize any and all videos regarding the Middle East. Okay. Anything regarding ISIS, things of that nature, demonetized. North Korea, sometimes, not always. It depends. It depends how the bot machine is feeling. Okay. Don't let the bots control whether your favorite alternative media or independent voice, whether they stay around or not, are able to survive what's to come. I've created 3 different ways for you to support my work on a regular basis, and there's a few of you that have started to do that. But I want to continue to mention that it's really easy right now more than ever to ensure that my platform sticks around the coming years. Visit alexansary.donate/donate. And you have 3 options there. You have Patreon. You can sign up on a regular monthly basis. It's very easy. I believe it accepts a debit or credit card. Same thing. The same thing can be done with making a regular payment via PayPal.com. Okay. And there's information down in the description. The third way that you can contribute to my work is becoming a subscriber to my on-demand channel. Remember, if something happens to my channel, remember to at least look up, and if I am on the internet, you will find alexansary.tv. Most of all, you will find the information there that will indicate where my videos are going to be. But we're not going to stop reporting on this no matter how close we're getting towards this conflict. But I think that we're going to see some major cyber attacks of YouTube by the time it happens. Alex Ansary here, sign off April 2nd, 2017.